Jack and Emily were at home playing with a camera when Jack took a photo of Emily. In the photo, Emily, who was wearing a dress, appeared in a fur coat. Jack thought it was a malfunction of the camera and decided to retake the picture. Emily casually took out an old coat from an antique chest, walked to the window, and posed. When the photo came out, Jack was stunned to see that her clothes and pose matched exactly what was in the photo. Both of them were shocked by this strange occurrence and decided to try again. This time, Emily took a photo of the door. The photo showed a young man pushing the door open and walking in. It was her brother Kyle, but Jack knew that Kyle had already been arrested and sentenced to 7 years in prison. Just as they were puzzled, the doorbell rang, and Kyle was standing at the door. He said he had escaped prison and came to seek refuge with his sister. Jack and Emily were left speechless, especially when they realized that Kyle's actions matched exactly what was in the photo. After discussing the situation, Jack speculated that the camera might be able to take pictures of events a few minutes into the future. The three of them decided to use the camera for something big. At that moment, Kyle turned on the TV and a horse race program was on. Jack stood up excitedly and suddenly came up with a bold plan. If the camera could capture future events, why not use it to predict the results of the race? The three of them pooled their money together and decided to head to the racetrack. At the racetrack, Jack took a photo of the scoreboard, and the photo showed that horse number 6 would win. Jack quickly placed a bet. The race started, and at first, horse number 6 was in the middle of the pack, but in the final stretch, it surged ahead and crossed the finish line first. The three of them were astonished when they checked the scoreboard, and the results matched the photo perfectly. This success thrilled them, and they decided to keep using the camera to make more bets. With each round, their predictions were accurate, and they quickly amassed a fortune. When they returned to the hotel that night, the table was piled high with cash, and Jack excitedly ordered a sports car. At that moment, a hotel service worker came in to clear the table and noticed the camera, which had an inscription that said, "Each camera can only take 10 photos. The three of them quickly did the math and realized they had already used 8 photos. As they argued, someone accidentally pressed the shutter. When the photo developed, it showed Emily seemingly screaming. Jack was confused. Why was she screaming in the photo? In a fit of rage, Jack pulled out a small knife, shoved Emily aside, and walked toward Kyle. The two of them struggled and accidentally fell out of the window. Emily stood by the window, striking the same pose as in the photo. She lost both her husband and brother, devastated, but quickly regained composure. She decided to turn her sorrow into strength, quickly stuffing the money into her bag, preparing to leave. Just as she was about to leave, the service worker, who had been eavesdropping on their conversation, entered the room. He saw the money the three had won and immediately began stuffing it into his bag. Emily tried to call the police, but the service worker told her that her brother Kyle was a fugitive, and if she called the cops, they would arrest her first. Emily had no choice but to watch as all the money was taken, even the bag she held. Before leaving, the service worker generously returned the camera to her. Just then, the photo they had taken earlier developed, and the service worker looked at it and said, "From a distance, there's more than just 2 bodies." Emily hurried to the window to look, but tripped on an electrical wire and fell out of the window. The service worker followed her to the window, looking outside, and saw that there were indeed more than 2 bodies. When he counted the bodies in the photo, he was stunned to realize that there were 4 bodies.